Welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Pastor Rick Utze from Maranatha Community Fellowship in Plain City, Ohio. And Happy New Year. I want to expand a little bit about what we talked about last week, that Jesus Christ can sympathize with our weaknesses, and he came from heaven to earth. And so I want to think about that in a little more detail of why is it that Jesus can sympathize with us. And in today's world, and as we talked about last week, from looking from above, and we saw all the things that happened in 2017, from hurricanes to fires, all that's observable from above because there's big things going on. And in 2018, there's probably going to be more big things going on and difficulties in the world and even in our own lives. God may be calling us to continue to walk through a wilderness path or bring new circumstances into our life that we will have to deal with. And so in dealing with these things, I thought in a real life scenario, if I was put in a wilderness, I would want a survival guide for one thing, right? You want to know how to survive. But it's one thing to know how to build a fire and a shelter and all those things if you don't really have anything with you. It's another thing to have somebody with you who's been through it before, isn't it? If I was going to be in a desert or a rainforest with nothing, would I want LeBron James with me? I mean, the guy is strong. I mean, the guy has got great skills at basketball. But would you want LeBron, or would you want somebody like Bear Grylls, who may not be as big or as strong, but he's got survival skills. He's been there before. He was part of the British Special Forces. He's got TV shows that show how he's out in the wilderness surviving. If I was in a wilderness, I would want Bear Grylls beside me because he knows how to make fire, build shelter, hunt, get food, know what plants are poisonous, what you can eat. He's been there, he's done it, he's proved it. That's who I would want. And so as we think about our life here on earth, Jesus Christ, the Bible talks a lot about Jesus. Jesus, before he came down to earth, here's what it says. He says in Hebrews 10:5, he says to God, "You did not desire sacrifice and offering, but you prepared a body for me." So Jesus Christ didn't just come into existence at Christmas. He was God, the Son of God, before the foundation of the world was laid. And he said, "God, you prepared a body for me." And then he went on in verse 7, "I have come to do your will, O God." And then he says, "I came not to be served, but to serve." Jesus Christ came down to this earth with a body, with a purpose. And it says in Hebrews 2, it says, "Now since the children have flesh and blood in common, Jesus also shared in these, so that through his death he might destroy the one holding the power of death, that is the devil." So Jesus, because we're flesh and blood, and we walk in flesh and blood, and we walked on a messed up earth, Jesus says, "I'm coming down, I'm going to walk through the same thing. I am both God and man. I'm going to walk through it for you. And not only that, I'm going to conquer death. I'm going to conquer the one who holds death. I'm going to come and go to the cross and die for Rick Utze and everyone else who puts their faith in me. I'm dying on that cross to take their sin and shame, so that when I go to the grave, bearing their penalty, I'm going to rise from the grave again, defeat the devil, defeat Satan, defeat fear, because we fear death, because we all know there's right and wrong, and we're going to have to be held accountable someday. And so Jesus came to conquer all that. He came to conquer death. It says further down in verse 17, he says, he had to be like his brothers and sisters in every way, so that he become a merciful and faithful high priest in all matters pertaining to God for the atonement of sins. And so he was like us in every way. He walked where we walked. We don't only have a survival guide in the Bible. We have Jesus Christ, who went before us and conquered death, which we're all going to face. And so here's the bottom line. In a physical wilderness, I want Bear Grylls, right? Because of his training, because of his ability, knowledge, experience. In spiritual life, in true life, in eternal life, life that matters forever, we want Jesus Christ because of those same things. He's got training. He walked where we walked. He's got experience. He's got knowledge. He's got power over death. So yes, I will put my life into the hands of Jesus Christ. How about you? Please do not neglect so great a salvation. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time on The Bottom Line.